Hello everybody and welcome to this video from ArkZen. In this video we are introducing a radical new design for how to do accounting. Now this video is broken up into two parts, as part one and part two. This one that you're seeing here is part one, the introduction, and then we have a secondary video where we're going to actually look at ArkZen and have a visual component. But in this introduction we're going to introduce certain concepts of how the system actually works. Now the actual products, we have two different products, the companion product and the accounting system. And we'll come back to the accounting system as a secondary basis. The companion system we run based really on import from your information, but then we have this incredible production of every single item, every single report that you need in a matter of a few seconds. And this provides is of incredible value that you will see once you play with it. The companion is also tied in with our consolidation program, so that we would expect to have a group, say, of 40 members. Each one runs the companion in a few seconds, but that's simultaneous. So you're running that at a particular point, really at a particular hour within the day. That's run, posted to the cloud. Everything comes down into the consolidation system, and then the consolidation system itself is instantaneous in terms of how it actually runs. Okay, an aspect of the system is what we call clarity and simplicity. It's so simple, and you'll see that shortly on the visualization video. It is so simple and so clear. It represents a radical transformation. This is not just a simple improvement. This is a complete simplification of double entry bookkeeping. And an aspect that we must mention here is that the method you're going to see now applies to every single company on the planet. Okay, you can all be reduced to this. This is your double entry, and it's like a mini, or rather let's call it a macro general ledger. So what we're doing is getting these top level journals, let's say about 80 of them, and you will end up with that gives you your general ledger. So you can actually see how this whole thing works with simple drill down. It becomes really impressive. Now an important aspect to understand within our system is that the journals are programmatic. Journals are not put through by the bookkeeper in an ad hoc fashion. They're very controlled method of getting to your journals, and because they're programmatic, they're coming from the same data set. So we take this data set and we pull out both the double entry, and we're pulling out the reports, and hence we have perfect harmony. We can never have a problem between the two because they're coming from the same source and they're all algorithmic. There is a problem, it's our problem. The speed is silly. We do all of these things in a matter of a few seconds, and this will lead to tremendous cost reduction because you'll find it's hidden away. It's just salaries, or it's some sort of consulting, and you don't really see it. But now we can say, well, that's what we've done. You're getting our reports on day one of the new accounting period, whereas your accounting pack is only coming through maybe on the fourth day. And there's a lot of work goes into putting that accounting pack together, and at the very best it can achieve is it'll have part of what we've got, but it'll probably be missing a whole series of reports that we've already done and that we do in a matter of seconds. And then it's inevitable that some of those costs will be reduced. You won't need them anymore going forward. Once you gain confidence in the system, you can actually reduce them. Now, so what we have in terms of the way ArkZen works is we have the data set, and then we have processing. And what we've said is processing, once we have that data set, processing is virtually instantaneous. The boot up takes 2.5 seconds on our machine. We can't say exactly how long it'll take on your machine, but that is the order in which it's going to be, a few seconds to actually run this whole system. The primary reports come out instantly. The secondary reports, when you go to the secondary reports, there might be a 1 second delay while it just organizes itself to get that particular thing, but it's essentially instantaneous. So we have all our reports. So what we're saying is we have all our output: statutory reports, glossy reports, customized reports. A very nice thing that we can do is to build in operational reports. So if you have an operational system that must feed the accounting system and you want to know that these are tying up correctly, we can customize that for you so that you'll have the operational side coming through as well. Sorry for that. And you can have one system that shows you both the operational side and the accounting side. Now, in terms of getting to the data set, we have three different methods. One is the forecasting system, which is going to be out early next week. And here you go to a series of parameters and you simply change the parameters and you can generate any block of data. It's a simulation. It simulates a set of data for a year and you can see how that works out. And the simulation gives a very rich feel because things like depreciation are based on other simulated data. So you're getting a proper calculation, tax computation exactly the same, VAT computation exactly the same. It's based on the simulated data. So that actually becomes a very nice mechanism for seeing how it all works. And you can put in parameters such that they give you something very similar to one of your companies, and you can see how it would look for your company. Okay, we can then move from that to the import section. Now, on the import section, we do it as one go. You hit one button, F7, and it does all the import in one go. But we have to help set you up for that. There are just too many variables to be able to make it a one-size-fits-all. Although we will be using AI to simplify that process as well. But on the import, we set you up, and once you've got you set up and you're there, then you just press F7 and the import is pulled across so we can compare what we get compared to what your current system is giving you. And we can say, well, we differ perhaps in terms of this or in terms of that. We can see just what the issues are. The final method of getting to our data set is via capture, which is where we do the actual accounting system. But here again, it looks very different. We don't have like a payroll system and then have a fixed asset system separated like that. What we have is a series of mini tasks, okay, and we use mini apps to actually handle these things. So one little mini task might be to record recruitments for the month. So you might have one or two recruitments, or another one will record terminations for the month, and you do that. And there's little mini apps that are done by the appropriate person. Those ones will be done by someone sort of in fulfilling the HR function if you don't have an actual department, and they would put those ones in there. And then you might have someone doing petty cash, and you might have another person doing banking. So these things all done, but they're mini apps, and they generally only take a few minutes at a time. We record each one, so we record the time it was done, how much it took, and it's tiny. It's very, very tiny. Even of the we use very junior staff for this. We call them interns, so that it's not prohibitively expensive, and you get a massive saving in terms of the labor costs. Okay, and then the bookkeeper, the AI system, and also the bookkeeper will just make sure that everything looks 100%, and they can go to that in a matter of a couple of minutes, and you can see how that happens. Okay, now what's coming in the next month is we're going to be using a lot of AI on the government returns. If you look at things like tax returns and VAT returns, the AI will have examined your particular jurisdiction. It will pull through things to tell us exactly what to provide for the system. So we will provide you a report that is exactly linked up to what you have to fill in, the particular return that you have to fill in. We could maybe even get the AI to actually populate the return. Okay, that is possible. And then all you have to do is click the button to say yes, go. Now you could hand it off to someone else to do the preparation for you, but what they're going to do is use the AI to actually run this and then click the button. So really, it's sort of it becomes a bit silly to make a payment like that. You're not really, the AI will probably give you a better control than a bookkeeper. And then we're also going to use the AI for like import purposes and things like that we can get. And now let's just go and consider the implications. This is such a massive change. People will suffer, everyone will suffer cognitive dissonance. You think you know accountancy's like this, and it's big and it's complicated, and there's a lot of work to be done, and people stay up late nights. This will all disappear now because of the fact that it's driven by an algorithm, and that's all you need. You need the data and then an algorithm, and it's done. So a complete change of expectations. When you as a managing director or a financial director come to 10 o'clock on day one of the new month, you should simply be able to go into your system and see everything in one go. It should be there immediately. It's been signed off. We've done any little bit of preparation being done in the days preceding the close of the month. And by 10 o'clock in the morning, any stragglers that need to be updated have been updated, and you're done, and you click. You will actually then click, the bookkeeper will click go. This is a go. We're happy with this. We approve the data set, and then you're ready to roll. Now, as I've said, the role of the bookkeeper completely changes. Instead of a bookkeeper having just a few companies and putting lots of hours into each company, the bookkeeper is going to have lots of companies. We would expect, for example, to have one accountant sort of at the top of, say, a 40-member consolidation, and they can see what's going on in every single company. It's perennial, it's live, essentially live. They can see it during the course of the day. They can see what transactions happened yesterday, and we can track exactly what's going on there for that entire group. There's no need to have an actual bookkeeper in each subsidiary or division. Okay, so that's going to be a massive transformation in terms of that. And as I say, then we're going to use interns to do the simple tasks, and the cost there will be greatly reduced. So that's what we wanted to discuss. And having that concept now, we can move to the visualization where we'll actually show you ArkZen. Thanks a lot. Cheers.